Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast, your place for all things magic. I'm your host, Corey, and with me today is Josh. How's it going, Josh?
What's up, everybody?
Before we jump into the main topic here, this show is sponsored by Ironguard Supplies. We love their sleeves, top loaders, and accessories. You can get 20% off at ironguardsupplies.com using coupon code MTG Place. So make sure you use that coupon code. Get 20% off.
Yeah, today's episode's a part 2. So if you want to watch part 1 of our Assassin's Creed cards, watch that video and then come back here for part 2. We'll be giving our thoughts on the card design and where it lies within the Magic ecosystem. We'll be judging these mostly in a commander lens, but with like legacy and limited and cube in mind. So we'll continue off. We are with Cleopatra, Exiled Pharaoh. 2 black-green for a 2/4 legendary human noble. It has, at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target legendary creatures. Then whenever a legendary creature with counters on it dies, you draw a card for each counter on it. You lose 2 life. Each counter on it is the big part of this card.
Yeah.
So you can draw a lot of cards. Just has to be
Isn't there a card that comes in with like a whole bunch of counters that has like a sacrifice ability?
That also has a sacrifice ability. First thought is Hydras.
I don't know. I was thinking of like one of the Polkenroses or something or that. What's the other one? That one where everything fights it? Is that good with counters?
There's a dinosaur that fights like everything. Gets enraged.
Well, it's like a worm, and you like draw cards when it dies. Can't remember what
Gothorma or whatever from
is that coming with counters or no?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just a big old thing.
Okay, but it still seems good because I mean, like worst case, you're buffing some random legendaries and then you're drawing 2 cards.
Yeah, it's got to be legendary matters again, which kind of sucks. But
yeah, but you can draw a lot of cards.
Yeah,
especially if you play some legendary Hydra and then just sacrifice it to like alter.
Yeah, that's where it's going to pop off.
It seems really good.
As the commander, yes. In the 99, it will be like you really need to be like legendary or something. Like you can build around this for sure, but I don't see it in the 99.
Unless you already have a legendary creature matters deck already, then maybe.
Right?
But...
yeah. Very weird.
Next up, we got Aya of Alexandria. 2 red and a white for a 4/3 legendary creature human assassin with menace and lifelink. And whenever a historic creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you make a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Decent on rate, and it's a historic creature.
This is good in like if you have like the blue in there too, and you put this in the 99 of like you make a bunch of Thopters and then you swing and a bunch of assassins.
Right, yeah. Artifact creatures are where it's going to really pop off.
Yeah.
Because it does for each trigger. It's not like 1 or more that usually like stops it. And it's a decent card at rate. Like I
don't even know if there's a way to make a saga a creature other than like enchantments or creatures. But
right, yeah.
So that's rarely gonna come up.
They just had to say what historic was.
Yeah.
I like this though, even like maybe in a cube. Where at 4 mana, 4/3 menace lifelink is pretty decent. That can make a 1/1 every time it attacks.
Yeah, that's pretty good if it hits. I mean, if it has menace lifelink, they're not going to want to block it that much.
Right. In the lifelink, you get something if nothing happens like it.
Yeah, even if they do double block it, you're gaining 4 life. Probably killing one of their things. That seems pretty good, especially in the aggro deck.
Yeah. Good card. I like it. All right, we'll move on to Bayak of Siwa. 3 red, white for a 3/4 legendary human assassin. It's got double strike. As long as it's your turn, other historic creatures you control have double strike. It's got disguise for 1 red, white.
So it's cheaper to disguise it.
Yeah, and then
I mean it's 1 more mana, but you could do it faster.
Being it's almost 4. A combat trick too. Being a disguise when you flip it over. Oh, everything's got double.
Yeah, it's really good with that last guy too, because then you get 2 tokens when it
Mm-hmm.
hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You could disguise it.
Yeah. More of like a combat trick, instant speed.
This is a commander would be hilarious. You just be like, I'm gonna disguise this. Get under what it is.
Yeah. That one, you can't really. I don't know. Can you make mini Thopters in red and white? Like these two as like the helm of your commander. I'd probably put Bayek in the 99 of Aya.
Yeah,
But can you make tons of.
I mean, there's like the golems things. You can make a bunch of golems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sure
There's
there's some.
probably a way to make thopters too.
Yeah.
There's the red guy comes in, makes 2 thopters. You can sack thopters, throw in people's faces.
Mm-hmm. There's like loyal attendant. It has like lieutenant, make a Thopter with haste.
Yep, and then you like sack. And then there's the one that makes it. There's the one that's just like an uncommon that makes a thopter with
Mhm.
haste every turn, and you sack it at end step.
Yeah, yeah. I could see this deck. This looks pretty sick. Definitely put Aya at the helm, but
Yeah, this is a sweet card.
mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Evor Battle Ready, 3 red white for a 5/5 legendary creature, human assassin warrior with vigilance and haste. And when it attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipment you control to each opponent.
Mm.
So if you have a way of making a like, if you have like Tago, make all those rocks that are equipment.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's a dream. I like how it's each opponent. That's really nice.
It's also okay in like just like a Voltron deck because you're like, okay, like I have like 4 equipments on this one thing. At least I do 4 to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and then I hit whoever I'm attacking.
So let me tell you about this equipment that gives out infect. That seems kind of fun. It is
Yeah.
investing a lot. 5 mana is kind of a lot, but vigilance is great.
Has
Haste is
haste.
nice. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's decent.
All right, we'll move on to Cassandra, Eagle Bearer. 1 red, white for a 2/2 legendary human assassin warrior with haste. I just love how they can fit all this. It's just the text gets really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
When Cassandra enters the battlefield, search your graveyard, hand, and library for a card named the Spear of Leonidas and put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Whenever a creature you control with a legendary equipment attached to it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
It's pretty good.
Should we read what Spear of Leonidas? We don't even have it. It's not a rare.
Yeah, I don't know what Spear of Leonidas does, but
Let's do a quick Google search. Spear of Leonidas. Oh, it was the red card. It was the red one. 3 mana, equip 2. Whenever they attack, choose 1 against double strike, or create that 3/2 red.
oh, the one with the modal abilities.
Yeah, or discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards.
Oh, this makes that card a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah, but
Still not great.
yeah,
And I still think the other red white guy for 3 that draws a card for each equipment attached to it
Evor. Yeah, right before this. Yeah, still way
is
better.
than
Don't
just
need
the
to be
one.
legendary.
Well, there's what like the helm of my deck is what the old equipment
Draw
guy.
card. Yeah,
You draw when you attack, you draw a card for every equipment on it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just be you get 1. No matter how many you're attached to it, you get 1 card.
Yeah,
and you have to hit a player. So
yeah. So it does say whenever a creature, so like you can have 2 creatures, both with different legendary equipment attached.
yeah,
to it.
that's true.
You draw 2, but that's not really what you want to do in equipment deck.
Right.
You're kind of just pumping 1 man.
I think this is like a card you just put in the 99 of a equipment deck you already have.
Yeah. Even that though.
And even then you probably don't even put the spear. Like maybe you do, but
it's pretty poor.
it's not that good, I don't think.
We were just talking about in part 1 of this, the swords of blank and blank are not legendary. So like,
Right.
what kind of legendary equipment are you doing here?
Yeah. I mean, like Jit, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. There's very few pickings.
Next up, we got the Raven Clan War Axe. It is 1 red and a white for an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library and/or graveyard for a card named Eivor the Battle Ready. That's that 5-drop creature we just talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reveal it, put it into your hand, and then equip creature gets +2/+0 and trample. Equip cost is 2.
Okay, this is better.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, okay, it's a decent equipment, but the main part is 3 mana, search up that 5-drop.
Yeah, which that 5 drops a bomb.
Yeah, and giving that haste and +2 or trample and +2/+0 is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Be even better if this attached it, but you know.
Right. I think that's super awesome though, because we were talking about Ivor. Like, he's okay as a commander, but now putting him in the 99,
Yeah,
Ivor's more of like that late game finisher.
right.
Your commander has been getting killed over and over because you're playing equipments. You finally find this. You attach him onto Ivor. You have all of this mana. Put him on, and he deals like 3 damage to each opponent,
Right.
and 1 big one to somewhere. I think that's really awesome in the 99 of some sort of equipment deck.
Yeah. But you're obviously not playing this if you don't play Eivor, right?
Yeah. No, this is pretty. Being 2 color pips is pretty bad. Like it's just more difficult to cast. Yeah. There's way better things. All right, we'll move on to Ratahutan. Okay, I'm looking up the pronunciation of this.
It has a colon in the name. Like what?
It's really weird. But all right, it's Radun Hajidun.
Ah,
Does it look like that? No.
no, it does not.
That's how you pronounce it. Radun Hajidun. White, blue, black. So Esper for a 3/3 legendary human assassin. As long as Radun Hadidun hasn't dealt damage yet, it has hexproof and can't be blocked. It's basically it can't be blocked. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 black assassin's creature token with menace. When you do, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then attach it to that token.
That's awesome. This is a sweet Esper equipment deck because, like, most equipment decks are black, red, or white, or a mixture of those. So being able to have blue in the equipment deck seems awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have red then, but you can have the black ones.
Mm-hmm. I was just kind of confused that like it creates the token, it goes on the token when you want to put it on the Rahadun or your commander for commander damage, but it's nice in case you just don't have that mana, like you already have it equipped.
Right, and just the fact that it's bringing it back, so like whatever, it's equipped for blocks, and then on your next turn you just switch it over.
You can self-mill to really find something to come up. Oh, there's
which is easy to do in black-blue.
Yeah.
So you can self-mill a bunch of equipment.
It's interesting. Menace is nice too.
I think it's a cool deck idea.
Okay, I'm reading up. All of the assassins so far, they all are 1/1 black assassins with menace.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nice. I thought this one was being really specific for some reason, but no, that's all of them. Interesting one. Very interesting being blue.
Kind of cool.
I love this whole time period. I didn't play this Assassin's Creed, but this was like the Civil War era.
Oh, okay.
You can see the Minutemen down there.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty dope.
Next up, we got Edward Kenway, 2 in Grixis. For a 5/5 legendary creature, human assassin pirate. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each tapped assassin, pirate, or vehicle you control.
Whoa.
So that could be a lot if you have a lot of tapped assassins, pirates, and vehicles. And whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library, exile it face down, and you may play that card as long as it remains exiled. So all your vehicles you can play their stuff as you can pay them mana.
Right.
And you get
But how
treasures,
many
which is going to help you cast it.
vehicles like are you attacking at once? Maybe tops two. Like
Yeah,
you got
that's just bonus.
crew
Like the best part is like just have a tapped board and you're going to get a bunch
for
of
sure,
treasures.
for sure. Just trying to be realistic. Like you got a crew and then swing with the vehicle. Maybe two you have tops.
I mean, if you have a pirate deck, you probably put this in there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Just because pirates really care about treasure tokens, like Dargo is nice, or even that win the game spell. That all you need is 10 treasures.
Yep,
This could easily get there.
that seems really good.
Yeah. Super specific, like we've been always
But
saying that.
if you build around it, it's going to be super insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with like there's some new vehicles that just came out that like have tap abilities, so you don't even need to turn them into creatures that attack. You can just like tap them to like,
Hmm.
get energy or something, or draw a card, and then it's like, okay, now I have a tapped vehicle getting a treasure.
Hmm. That, or even like to crew, even if a vehicle says crew one, you can tap as many assassins and
Yeah, you
pirates
could tap your
want.
board down, crew
That
the
can just
one. And I crew my smuggler's copter with my whole board.
all my assassins, all just some nice outs. Move on to Ivor, Wolf Kissed. 7/6, or the mana cost is 6 mana. So 3 red, green, white for a 7/6 legendary human assassin warrior. It's got trample. It's got haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. You may put a saga and or land from among them onto the battlefield.
Okay, so you're putting this on 99 of a Tom Bombadil.
Right, yeah. I Would you really want this as like the helm for like a saga deck? Not really.
I mean,
It's
maybe
pretty,
in a lands deck, but even then, it's like 6 mana.
yeah, it's very weak, it
Like it's
seems.
probably in the 99 of a landfall or saga deck. Like,
I think the best thing it's got going for being a commander is that 7 power where you
yeah,
just need
you have to
21.
hit 3 times.
That's 3 hits. But that's if that's the best thing that's going on. Uh, that's not that good. Yeah, 99 of Tom if you really want that.
Yeah, or just the landfall deck would be okay too in the
Yeah.
99. But
It does mill quite a bit if you can hit, I guess.
yeah,
It's decent.
I mean, you put Whisper Silk on it, and you're milling quite a few cards.
It's a lot of cards to mill. Haste? I don't know.
It still seems like it costs a lot for that.
Right, right. Now I'm thinking of like limited or in a cube.
I mean, it's pretty good in cube, I would think.
You're milling a lot of cards if you can hit. You only have 40 card decks. I don't know. Would you rather play this or have like a Titan, like Grave Titan?
I'd rather have like Great Titan.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not there. All right.
Next up, we got Hawaii, the Allfather, 3 red, green, white. For a 6/6 legendary creature God Warrior, he is indestructible as long as there are 4 more historic cards in your graveyard. And it has Sage Project. Whenever Hawaii or another target legendary creature you control dies, return target legendary creature card with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay, this is way better for the same mana cost.
Right.
Like, okay, this is my commander. I have historic cards matter, and now I just put a bunch of legendary creatures in. When they die, I'm getting one back. Like, that's good.
That can be like some sort of combo. Like this doesn't have like once per turn, twice. If you have a
No, like if you have a sack outlet, you could just like, oh, I sack my 6 drop, get a 5 drop, sack my 5, get a 4, and if they all have ETBs.
same one, right? Like a sack outlet usually the clause to start whatever it's like sack a creature, scribe one is like a famous one, or put a plus one
Yeah.
plus one on them for carry on feeder. You sack it, part of the clause, then this trigger goes on. You can grab that same legendary
Well,
creature.
it has to be less. So you can't grab the same.
Lesser, that's where it is. That's where
Yeah.
I'm stopping. All right. Dang. Trying to break cards here.
That's where, but I mean, you could still go kind of crazy.
Chain down
Like
the
you
line.
can go a 6 drop and a 5 drop and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1,
Mhm.
and if they all have ETBs or something or die triggers, like
Right. Then that just chains again. You find another 6 drop and you
yeah,
sack them all. Interesting.
and this is gonna pretty easily have indestructible probably if you're building around that.
Right. Oh yeah. All right. Next we got Sigurd, Jarl of Ravensthorpe. Red, green, white for 3/3 legendary human warrior with vigilance, trample, and lifelink. It's got boast, which you can activate after this creature attacked, only once per turn, but you can do this way after the combat phase, second main phase. Put a lore counter on target saga you control, or remove one from it. That's huge. Whenever you put a lore counter on a saga you control, put a +1/+1 counter on up to one other target creature.
Another card going right into Tom Bombadil.
Right. I love the remove part though. I
Yeah,
guess
because you can re-trigger this like second effect over and over.
just keep it on there so it never goes away.
It's also nice that as the vigilance, trample, lifelink, the boast you can attack with this, and like before damage, you can still activate this so if they're gonna kill it.
He gets bigger. That's if you put one, which you normally want to remove one just to get value.
Yeah, and you can't pump itself with the 1/1 counter because it's other.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's nice with the boast that you can activate it before they block or
Yeah.
before damage if you need to.
Whenever you need to.
And it's 3 mana 3/3. Like that's pretty good. You could play this as a commander too, but then you limit yourself to only 3 colors of sagas.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I would love to do it, but you look at Tom and it's like 5 colors is so much better than
Right.
3. Being access to blue and black. Ugh. Great commander colors.
Yep.
Yep. So commander card only. You're not playing mini sagas and cubes or legacy.
Next up, we got Sean Rebecca Agent. It is 1 green, white, blue for a 4/4 human assassin scientist with vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, search your graveyard, hand, and library for a card named the Animus. Did we talk about that earlier?
No, we haven't. We can skip to it next.
Okay. Put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. Tap add a colorless. When you do, mill 2 cards.
All right. The Animus is a 2-mana legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target legendary creature card from a graveyard with a memory counter on it. And you can tap it until your next turn. Target legendary creature you control becomes a copy of target creature card in exile with memory counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery, though. So at the beginning of end step, you keep exiling any legendary creatures from any graveyard, and then one of your legendary creatures could become it. It just really hurts that it's legendaries.
So legendaries become other legendaries?
Kind of. It's like Mimic Vat in a way.
Oh, no, legendary can be a copy of anything.
Any legendary that you've snagged from a graveyard.
No, it's... Wait, exile up to 1 target legendary... Oh, okay, yeah. Because you can only snag legendaries.
Legendaries become another legendaries. That's the part that's really slowing this thing down.
Yeah.
But
it's like okay.
Yeah, going back to Sean and Rebecca.
I think they're okay. I think the better part is the mill 2 cards when you add them with colorless.
Mill 2 cards every single turn. Yeah. Vigilance part is...
It's good because you could attack and then
tap.
You need to.
Doesn't seem really necessary.
No, it's not that necessary.
As a mana dork, turn 4, it's more the mill. This is all just okay
it's
stuff.
It's all just okay, yeah.
Wow. All right, move on to Altair in Baladan. Sorry for the pronunciation. Red, white, black. 3/3 legendary human assassin with first strike. Whenever Altair attacks, exile up to one target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped attacking token that's a copy of it. Exile those tokens at the end of.
So here you actually could get any assassin that's not legendary with a memory counter and then use the thing on
Use
the
the
legendary.
Animus?
Yeah. Because a legendary becomes a
Woo!
copy of an
Yeah,
exile card with a memory counter.
that's a combo. He only cares about your graveyard, but that's fine. And
This is
this,
also with both of these, you can have a bunch of stuff in exile with memory counters, right?
mhm.
And then you get a whole bunch of tapped attacking
And
tokens.
air attacks, yeah, insane. Insane. And this too, it's like you self mill, you turn one, faithless looting, bin I don't know, Archon of Cruelty. And
I
then
mean, it has to be an assassin, but
oh, it does.
I mean, still, like getting if you have a assassin deck, right? And you're
Mhm.
like, okay, attack. You have one copy attacking, then the next turn I have two, and then three, then four. It's gonna be
Okay.
kind of crazy.
He only exiles assassins, but the Animus can get eight,
Exiles any legendary.
which then he'll make more tokens of.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a little synergy. Is this too many hoops? I don't know. It's
I don't know.
cool.
You also can't play the scientist that searches for the animus in this deck.
Yeah, to search up the end. But the scientists aren't that cool.
Right.
They aren't good. Not a big deal there. I don't know.
It's
It's
not
cool.
bad.
It
I
sucks
think it's
that
pretty
it's
good.
assassins, but yeah, it's not bad. I think before we go to artifacts, we'll switch to our segments. Start off with my crazy combo. This one's not sort of like an I win combo, but I just want to talk about one of my favorite cards, Master of Cruelties. I think you've experienced him once or twice before against me. It's a 3 black red 5 mana demon that's 1/4, has first strike and death touch. It's just so fun. You poke people, they're dead. But he can only attack alone. That's a downside. And then whenever he attacks a player that wasn't blocked, that player's life total becomes 1. And then he assigns no combat damage. So it doesn't kill him. Put him at 1. But the combo is you use somebody to put him out and attacking. Say like Kali of the Vast is a famous commander. Whenever she attacks an opponent, you put an angel, demon, or dragon from your hand onto the battlefield tapped at attacking. So that's Master Cruelties. He comes checked unblocked. You kind of have to attack people who are not going to be able to block. So they become 1, but then Kali of the Vast hits them for 2, and you KO.
Yeah.
There's other ways to do this, like Elsha, who smiles at death, reanimate something tapped and attacking. So then Master Cruelties will be attacking, put him at 1. Elsha will hit for the finish. One of my favorite commanders I used to have, Gyrus, Waker of Corpses. He's also something whenever he attacks, exile a creature card from your graveyard with power less than his like power. Master Cruelties unblocked, goes to 1, Gyrus finishes them off.
Okay.
It is a kind of it's a
That's a.
one.
I mean, it's definitely a jank combo. I have died to it
It's fun
from
though.
my cousin playing Kalia. I don't think I've lost to you with it, but
Not I don't play Kalia. I play Master Cruelties in a lot of decks though.
yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I haven't died to Master of Cruelties
Okay.
again playing against you. I don't think, but I have died to it when my cousin Kalia's about.
Yep. Okay.
So.
Nice.
Let's see. My crazy card this week is Progenitus. It is
Yeah.
white, blue, black, red, green for a 10/10 legendary creature Hydra avatar that has protection from everything. And if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it and shuffle it into its owner's library instead. So he's awesome because he has protection from everything.
Yep.
Just attack with a 10/10.
Oh god.
It's always fun to cheat him into play.
Yeah, you want to cheat him. That's really hard casting him.
Yeah. I mean, you use like the Elvish Piper or the
Piper.
There's
Natural.
another one too that puts a multicolored creature into play for 2 mana.
Yep. Natural Order is a good one.
Yeah.
Um, Sadly, protection from everything, you think you're safe, but then Diabolic Edict or any sort of edict
Yeah. Or
sacrifices.
like a board instant speed board wipe. You
Oh,
can get rid of it too.
oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Well, then it just shuffles in your deck and you get it again later.
That's true. That's true. He used to be like, I haven't seen him in Vintage Cube in a long time, but when he was in it, that was some fun times. Some fun
Yep.
times. Artwork's badass too. I love
Yeah.
that artwork. It is so strikingly cool. All
All
right,
right.
Yep, Europe.
We're on the Apple of Eden, the Isu Relic. It's 4 mana for legendary artifact. Tap, pay 4 life, sacrifice the apple. Look at target opponent's hand, exile those cards face down. You may play those cards this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them until end of turn. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell this way, its owner draws a card. At the beginning of the next end step, return the exiled cards to its owner's hand, activate as a sorcery. So basically,
Okay,
you could play your opponent's hand
English.
for a turn.
Yeah, English. You snag their hand, play the card, and then they replace the card.
Yeah, and then
Mm.
they get their hand back at the end. Stuff.
Hmm. Hmm. Mana can be spent at any time. That's nice. It's like a duress every single turn. A Thoughtseize every single turn. It's
Well,
pretty
no,
nice.
because you have to sack the apple to use it.
Oh,
It's a
oh yeah.
one-time use, and you can only activate it as a sorcery. So you can't in response to me losing, see if my opponent has a way to stop myself from losing.
Hmm.
So it's like medium.
Yeah, bringing it back from the graveyard. It's an artifact. Some things that probably can bring it. I don't know.
Like I might play it in Jasper Flint, but outside of that, I don't know.
Yeah, it is snagging. Like hopefully their best thing, but
Yeah,
you
I mean
gotta
you
like
don't know what's in their hand,
you don't
obviously,
know.
but
Yeah, and you want to keep mana up, so you're not doing this. You pay 4 mana, play it out, and you've got to pass the turn, and then next
right.
turn use it, and then probably spend all of your mana again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nowhere near as close as the power level of Duress or Thoughtseize.
Right.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We'll move on to Excalibur, Sword of Eden. 12 mana legendary artifact equipment. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value of historic permanents you control. Okay, that's pretty easy to do. Easy-ish. Equipped creature gets +10 +0 and has a vigilance. And you can only equip to legendary creature for 2 mana.
I mean, it seems pretty good in a equipment deck because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to lower the cost already.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, yeah, it only has equipped legendary creature for 2 on it, but if you have that thing that gives all equipment equip 0, you can
Oh,
equip it to anything.
that bypasses it.
Yeah,
There's some things that just say like equip target equipment to something. So yeah,
yeah, or
you can bypass.
attach. Yeah,
But normally when you're playing commander and Voltron, like you're going to equip this to your commander, which is has to be a legendary creature
right, yeah.
anyway. So
I
it's
mean,
like
but just possibly being able to play it for 0 to then pay 2 mana, give something +10 in vigilance seems great.
insane. Yeah, insane. Definitely one to try out. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely try it, especially if you play a lot of legendaries and equipment deck. You're going to have artifacts, so especially if
Right.
you're commander. So was that? It's like it's at minimum. Like you're probably going to at least have one equipment, and so it's at least going to cost 5 less, which would make it
Mm-hmm.
like 7,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Your
which is
commander.
reasonable-ish. But you just keep dropping equipment until you
Mm-hmm.
play it. So
Right, until it's free. Like, yeah, if you play your 3-drop sword, that's already 3 less for Excalibur. Like,
yeah,
so eventually it will be there. I like it.
I think it's cool. It's a cool
Yeah,
card.
Definitely cool.
Next up, we got Mjolnir, the Stormhammer, 4 mana. It's kind of weird that that's in this set because they're doing an Avengers thing later.
Yeah,
But
Marvel's
okay,
coming out. Oh, easily this is getting reskinned in Marvel.
yeah.
Reprint already.
So when it enters the battlefield, attach it to a legendary creature you control. Whenever a quick creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls, put a stun counter on it. Then deal damage to each opponent equal to the number of tapped creatures that opponent controls. Equip cost is 4. But it does get a free attach when it ETBs.
Yeah.
I mean, tapping something down and stunning it and dealing
Yeah.
damage on attack is pretty good.
Yeah. You want to get in for damage. You take away their one big blocker. You're coming in.
I mean, it's really good if you like sleep them first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they take a whole bunch
Mm-hmm.
to each opponent, so it's not even just him.
Yeah. And you can really surprise somebody, like someone's a token deck and they just swing out on someone. Oh, boom. 4 mana.
Yep.
And
Oh,
storm
attack you. You're going to do like 20 to everybody.
to everybody, too. Yeah. Crazy. This card's sick.
Seems pretty good.
Definitely, like we were saying, don't spec on this card. I would not buy multiple copies.
No,
It's going
yeah.
to get reprinted in
It's
Marvel.
probably going to be reprinted in the event.
There's
the Marvel
no
set,
way.
yeah. Or they'll make a different version of it. But
Yeah, they could do that. I don't know. Secret Lair, it's going to come out. I don't know.
let's see. Who did the hammer? I did the hammer.
You did the hammer. I'm next. All right. The Staff of Eden. Vault's Key. 6 mana legendary artifact. When Staff enters the battlefield, put target legendary permanent card not named Staff of Eden from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. And then you can tap it. Draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own.
So you get a creature, a legendary creature.
Legendary permanent.
A legendary permanent from any graveyard. I mean, it's good in what's the one that does that? That's Send Triplets.
Yeah.
That just you get other people's stuff.
You just get their hands, yeah.
I mean, it's also good in like Jasper Flint.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you want this though?
Yeah, that seems pretty good.
Draw cards is good.
I mean, I could draw like just being able to draw a couple cards every turn seems good.
Yeah, that's very true. You get to draw right away.
And like, and you if you get like a 4 or 5 or 6 drop back with it, then it's already worth it, and you just have the thing there to tap, draw some cards.
Yeah, yeah. That's the ceiling. The floor where you don't get it. 6 mana, you still draw a card or two. That's still not too bad. Like
yeah, at worst you're getting the best thing in the graveyard back, and that's legendary, and then drawing a card.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like Staff of Nin, where that's like a 5 mana, but you get to draw a card every turn.
I think that also costs 6. Maybe it costs 5.
Might cost 6. Right. It's been a while since I played Staff.
I think this is better than that.
Right, in the correct deck. Yeah, for sure.
Especially since like you reanimate something.
Yeah, yeah. But thinking the floor, the worst, if you can't reanimate, it's still decent. It seems like.
I mean, you're not going to play. I think you just hold it in your hand if you can't target something.
It.
I mean, I guess you could target your own thing and then never be able to draw, but like at that case, you probably really wanted that thing back. So,
Still drawing cards is good. I think I would still slam it. I don't know if I would sandbag it.
Well, as long as you can get something back, because if you don't own anything of your opponents, you can't draw.
Yeah, if you don't own anything. Yeah. But you're playing Jasper, I'm imagining.
Yeah, and Jasper, you're just going to slam it because you're going to easily be able to get stuff back. But I'm saying in a deck that's not Jasper or something, like at worst, it's
would you
reanimate the opponent's best thing, draw card.
I would not run this if I'm not playing like a Zerdu deck or anything that's already taking my opponent's things. Like Animate Dead already snags stuff from your opponents. Reanimate snags stuff from your opponents. I don't know. It seems really bad if you're not playing that sort of deck.
Yeah, I mean, but you could, if you're playing just a Reanimator deck that could can
Yeah.
target your opponent's stuff, it might be okay.
Like even if you're not a reanimate deck, I would put reanimate or animate dead
Right.
in instead
So
of
like
it.
are you playing this outside of black, but and you can't play your opponent's stuff? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But I think it's very good in the decks that it fits into.
Yes, right. Draw cards, man. Can't get better than that.
Next up, we talked about the Animus.
Mm-hmm.
So the Capitoline Triad.
Yeah.
10 mana for a 7/7 legendary creature God Artificer. Those came before. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each historic card in your graveyard. And
Easy.
then exile any number of historic cards from your graveyard with total mana value 30 or greater. You get an emblem with creatures you control have base power and toughness 9/9. So your board is 9/9s. All forever.
It's pretty insane. Okay. So this can cause 0. And
Yeah,
as a
if you have 10 things, if you have 10 things in your graveyard, this costs 0, and you could probably immediately emblem it
right.
because like the 10 things would have to average a 3 mana value for you to be able to do it.
There's that artifact that sack a creature, target player mills that many cards.
Yeah,
So
the
as this
altar of
hits your
dementia,
commander, altar of some
altar of dementia. I think.
dementia. You play this for 0, sack it to altar of dementia, mill yourself more. You'll probably get 2 more historic cards. So then the commander tax is free again. Play it again. Sack your guy. Hopefully get your graveyard
Oh,
super
and like a colorless commander deck.
colors commander as this as the helm. Once you get it so big, you just start milling your opponents. I don't know. That's a lot. And you might run out of cards before that, but maybe there could be something crazy like that. That
There
just
probably is some dumb combo with that. Now that I think about it, because like you could just keep casting it for free.
yeah. The commander tax is going to be the thing, but you'll once you have that big enough of
I mean, once you have like 40 cards in your graveyard, like
it's going to get there. You mill
yeah,
your opponent 7, 7, 7, 7.
especially if you're like all artifacts, like.
It seems viable, but you.
I mean, I think it's decent in like a you make that Thopter deck too, and then you just
Mhm.
exile stuff, and all your Thopters are 9/9s in the swing.
Right. Or I'm even thinking like I'm trying to like mill my opponents, but if you're already there, you just mill yourself all the way to the bottom, and you form a win out of that. You don't need to mill your opponents. Like I'm sure you'll mill like scrap trawler or whatever and some
Yeah.
sort of combo. You'll find your combo from there. Like it seems interesting.
I'm sure there's some stupid stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like it's decent just in a go wide deck. You could just play it in the 99 of a go wide deck.
Yeah.
If you have enough historic stuff to hit the thing, and all my tokens are 9/9s, like I can
That's
win the
sick.
game right there.
That just seems like pretty hard to build up on its own. 30 mana value.
Yeah, but from an artifact, legendary, and saga, like I mean, like throughout the game, like if you draw this late game, you might have an Elish Norn in the graveyard. That's 7 right there. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Or if you're already self-milling, like you
yeah,
can probably build that up pretty easily. If you build the
I
deck.
don't think it's that hard to get the 30.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna put this in your deck if you don't think you can do it. So
Yeah. I mean, you got to have the low ones. You got to have your soul rings, your mana crypts, all that stuff. So that already dilutes, and lands dilute. But yeah, it can probably get there. And emblems, sick. Like and once you get there, you get there.
yeah, once you get it, you have it. So
So that's sick.
like no matter what you play, it's a 9/9.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to Yggdrasil, Rebirth Engine. 3 mana legendary artifact. When it enters the battlefield, exile all creature cards from your graveyard. You can tap it, exile the top 3 cards of your library. And you can pay 4, tap it, put a creature card exiled with this onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery.
Well, you keep the creature, so it's good.
Yeah, it's like Colorless Reanimate
Yeah, for 4 mana
every single time. But
every turn.
yeah, yeah, and you can dig for more later.
I mean, you play it when you have a decent, things in there, and then you just
Mm-hmm.
4 mana get a thing, 4 mana get a thing, 4 mana get a thing, and then like when they die, they just go back to the graveyard for you to reanimate. So,
Yeah,
and then if you run out of stuff under it, you can just all right, I'll exile top 3 cards in my library. Hopefully, I hit a creature.
yeah, yeah. The ceiling's pretty cool, but the floor you get blown out if like yeah you're building up your graveyard. You play this for 3, you exile your graveyard, then someone blows this up. Well,
Yeah,
you just exiled your whole graveyard and got nothing out of it.
yeah, that sucks. So maybe you wait till you have 7, and you can at least get a creature back
7.
with it.
Yeah, unless you know you can, or you're trying to be fast. Like you played Faithless Looting, been that Arcana Cruelty, and play this for 3, hope and
Yeah,
pray.
it seems like it has the potential to be good, but it also has the you just get effed.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Oh no.
you have to kind of want this. I don't know. I'd try it, and if I keep getting effed over by it, I'd be like, I'm taking
Hmm.
it out.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, the ceiling's pretty freaking high.
yeah. Next up, we got on the lands here. We got a Besturgo Entertainment. It's a legendary land. It taps for colorless. It has pay 1 tap, add a mana of any color. Pay 3 tap, exile it. Return 1 historic card from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile all graveyards.
Yeah. Um, my buddy plays a colorless Karn deck. I could see this being easily in there, slotting into that. Doesn't matter about getting the 1 mana of any color. You're already colorless. It's an
Well, here's the
untapped.
thing: is this good enough to just go in every deck? How good
See,
is a land with like let your commander die, pay 3 tap, put your commander in your hand,
mhm.
exile all the graveyards.
All graveyards, it's like you don't want to exile your own graveyard, but exiling all graveyards is pretty good on its own. If you wanted to bring your commander back, there's better ways to do that
Right,
on lands.
but I mean it's just a land. Like
Yeah.
it's another
Yes,
way.
still on lands. There's better ways.
I mean, I guess how good is just 3 mana bring back your Sol Ring that someone blew up, exile
Right.
everyone's graveyard.
Actually, it's pretty freaking good. It's pretty freaking good.
So like maybe you could put that in every deck. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say super universal, but you're making a good
Because
case.
like I mean, you can just get a mana rock back.
Yeah.
Almost every deck's gonna play something that they can get back.
Yeah, instant speed exile all graveyards is. I mean, people are comboing off now with Brain Freeze, and Underworld Breach is one of their favorites.
Mm-hmm.
You're making a good case. I don't
I
know
mean,
how
at worst case, it's a land. Like, who cares? As I say, you're not
untapped.
really giving up anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm like, it might be good enough to just play.
Mm-hmm. I definitely wanted to see it, try it out. Reanimation is good. Yeah.
I definitely would not like if someone played this. I definitely would not be like, "Oh, why are you playing that?" I'd be like, "Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
card." Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely good. I just don't know how universal it would be.
I mean, obviously, you're gonna put it in like multiple color decks because you could fix and have that ability. So, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and if you're playing, any sort of historic deck, you play it.
Right. Like I was saying, my buddy's Karn colorless deck
Yeah,
just seems great.
or Tom Bombadil or whatever. Like,
Sure. Yeah. Historics or sagas.
plus you can fix mana with it. I don't
Hmm.
know. It seems decent.
Yeah. Seems pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, like, because like, I mean, a lot of people play Pajuka Bog, right? And
Yeah.
that's just a
Right.
tap land, exiles
Hmm.
a graveyard.
Sorcery speed.
So would you play 3 mana, get something back, do that? Like, that's
Instant
kind of like a
speed.
regrowth.
And instant speed is huge.
Yeah.
Like I only play Bajuka Bog if I am playing crop rotation in my decks, so that I can have that access of instant speed exile a graveyard.
Mhm.
But this just, your opponent's playing breach, you just hold on.
Right.
or when someone targets their reanimation spell. Get
And like
them.
I said, like even if it's just worthless, it's like okay, well at least I have
Exile all
a
graveyards on your.
mana filter, and I can bring something back if I need
Yeah,
to. Like,
yeah. It's definitely a 7 out of 10, but you're making it sound like it's a 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not the power level's not necessarily there to make it 10/10, but I think
Yes.
it's good enough that you could, if you wanted to, play it in a lot of that in every deck. I think.
Yeah, yeah, for
I
sure.
don't know if it's good enough to just it's going to be a staple in every deck, but it wouldn't surprise me if it became
I'll agree with that. Yep.
that. Especially with all the graveyard shenanigans I do. Like I don't play
Right.
this.
Yeah, this is like the base.
Everyone's going to play this against me, so I'm just going to assume it's in every deck now.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. All right. Well, that's our show. That's everything.
All right. Again, you want to pick up any of these cards, please do so using our TCG Player affiliate link, which is in the show notes and on our website, mtgplace.net.
Yeah, you can help support our show by joining us on patreon.com. We have different tiers of involvement to get you different perks here and there, or just come talk to us, hang out. We got our Discord posted down below. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what we can improve. Just come hang out.
Yeah, I mean, I posted some, what do you call it, Family Feud type questions in there because I want to try and do a Family Feud episode. So you can go in the Discord and answer those. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to be notified when all of our videos and podcasts, when they are released. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.